Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Thursday, November 7. In Squiz Kids Today, Trump wins the White House, Kenya's elephant beehives, SquizEs election sniffing, and a new planet for our solar system. That's what's making news, kid style.
The Lowdown.
After months of campaigning, after hundreds of speeches and rallies all over the country, it came down to one day of voting in the United States yesterday, and in the end, Americans chose Donald Trump to be their president for the next 4 years. In the weeks leading up to the election, the polls suggested that it was going to be a close race, but it turned out to be not that close after all, with Trump's Republican Party winning the election convincingly. It means Donald Trump will become American president for the second time. He was president for 4 years, from 2017 to 2021. It also means his opponent, Kamala Harris from the Democrat Party, fell short in her attempt to become the first female president of the United States. As with all elections, there were plenty of people in America who were last night celebrating the outcome, just as there were many people who were devastated by it. What does it mean for Australia? Well, it won't make any noticeable difference to your day-to-day life, but because America is such a big and such an influential country, the ripple effect of yesterday's election will be felt around the world.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in Kenya in Africa, where farmers are using bees to keep elephants off their crops. Yes, that's right, bees. Now, you'd think an animal as big as an elephant would be scared of nothing, right? But bees, and especially their sting, really freak elephants out, and understandably so. I mean, who likes getting stung by a bee, no matter how thick your skin might be? A 9-year study in Kenya has shown that in over 80% of instances where an elephant approaches a farm wanting to have a little bit of a nibble on some delicious, freshly grown corn, the presence of beehives makes them change their mind. It's being described as a win-win for farmers and elephants, providing a natural way for farmers to keep hungry elephants at bay without causing any real danger to the animals. How clever.
Spaced out.
Okay, here's a question for you. How many planets are in our solar system? Now, working back from the sun, there's Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So that's 8 planets. Now, of course, Pluto used to be considered a planet until scientists downgraded it to dwarf planet status a couple of years ago. Poor Pluto. But wrap your little heads around this, because scientists yesterday announced they think they may have found a 9th planet in our solar system. Called Planet 9, which is not very imaginative, and located way, way, way out in outer space, it's apparently been hiding in something called the Kuiper Belt. If it exists, and scientists disagree on whether it does, it would be a planet out beyond Neptune and most likely to be covered in ice, as most things are that far from the sun. So, when will we know for sure? All eyes will be on a telescope which should be ready for use at the end of next year, allowing astronomers to see way further out into space than they currently can. All eyes on a telescope. Get it? Yeah, fair enough. The old dad joke alarm. I probably deserve that.
Newshounds.
Every Thursday, Squiz-E the Newshound sticks his snout into Squiz Kids HQ to report back on fishy things he's sniffed out on the internet. And today, he's about as tired as I have ever seen him. And that's because the US presidential election has given rise to a flood of mis- and disinformation on the internet. There's the video on TikTok claiming to be of a huge crowd at a Trump rally, but which is really footage from a recent Chappelle Roan concert. There's the false claim on the platform X that Rihanna promised to record a new single if Kamala Harris won, and there are false claims again on X that Donald Trump has been appearing in public with a body double lookalike instead of his wife Melania. Now, the reason there is so much mis- and disinformation floating around is because elections are traditionally a time when misinformation spikes. People create rumours that aren't true and post them to social media in the hope that their followers will believe them without checking. But luckily, as good newshounds, we all know how important it is to stop, think, and check whenever we come across anything online. And that's especially important during an election because deciding who to vote for is a really important part of living in a democracy like ours. And on the subject of newshounds, congratulations to teachers Alison Summers from Valentine Public School in regional New South Wales and Nadia Santon from St Columba College in South Australia. You're both the winners of the Allen and Unwin book packs that we were giving away to teachers who were new sign-ups last week to our new look, recently renovated Newshounds free media literacy classroom resource. Check it all out at squizkids.com.au.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. In which country are bees being used to keep elephants away from farms? Did you say Kenya? Well done to you. Question number 2. What's the name of the former planet in our solar system that was downgraded to being a dwarf planet recently? Yeah, well done if you said Pluto. Question number 3. Despite false rumours on social media, which pop singer said that she would not be releasing a new pop song if Kamala Harris wins the US presidency? Did you say Rihanna? Well, you are right.
Shoutouts.
It's Thursday, November 7. Bluey's World opens today in Brisbane. Woohoo! And we're excited to say that Squiz Kids has been invited along to check it out next week. Stay listening for a special report on that. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Oliver from Warrnambool, Zach from Vermont South, Paddy from Huntley, Charlie from Yass, Gurnaz from Oran Park, Sarah from Bundaberg, Maddie from Dubbo, Pranav from Forest Lake, Abigail from Bentley East, Jaden from Wahroonga, Aria from Black Forest, Lucy and Camden from Brightwater, Charlotte from South Turramurra, and Jack from Maitland. And classroom shout-outs today go to Class 3-4H with Mrs McManus and Mrs Hales at Janali East Public School. All of the students at Ripley Valley State School, Class 5R with Mr Alisi at St Benedict's Catholic Primary School in Mango Hill, and Room 14 with Miss Irvine at Angus Terrace Primary School in Bassendean. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you're after a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au or fill out the form on our website. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow with the Kids vs. Adult Weekly News Quiz, where you can test who's been paying the most attention to the week that just was. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.